Hey there, neighbor. Alicia Dolan here at Creating in My Corner. Hey there, neighbor. Alicia Dolan here at Creating in My Corner. I can't believe that it seems like every week I forget to turn the sound off on my other video. But that seems to be what happens. So thank you for joining me tonight. We are going to work with the Ringed with Nature stamp set. This is a stamp set that I just got, and it coordinates with some celebration paper. I'll show you the piece that we're going to use tonight, but it's really pretty. It's a nice paper. And so if you order $50 in Stampin' Up products between now and the end of August, you can get this paper with your order. And it's free. So for every $50, if you don't know, you get to choose a celebration item. I just realized that I'm really dark today. Hold on, let's see. And that's a little too much. There, that's better. Oh, you can see the gray coming out in my hair over there. All right. I am going to turn the camera around and we're going to get started. I don't have a sample for you yet for today, but I can show you a really cute card that I made not too long ago at, I believe it was at a team meeting, but using this really cute stamp set. And I will tell you that I was going to try to copy some of the cards. I was already working on it without buying the stamp set, but there are some sentiments in here that I really, really like. Okay, so if you look close, hopefully you can see there's one right here that says thinking of you. And I always like a thinking of you card. It doesn't have to be a sympathy card, but it could be a sympathy card, or it could be just, hey, you're on my mind and I want to let you know. But there's get well soon. There's just for you. This is my favorite, all-time favorite. Anytime there's a sentiment, if you can get a just for you, I feel like that's a really good, it's really good. And there's Merry Christmas, love and warmth, and happy anniversary. And happy anniversary is not always, it's not always a common stamp, so it's nice to have that too. All right, I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started. So bear with me just a moment as I switch to the other view. Hi, Kim. I see that you commented. Okay, so when I'm on my phone, for whatever reason, I can't see the comments. But now that I've switched over to the webcam, I can see your comments. So if you have comments or questions, you can put them in the comment box and I will try to answer them as we go. But if I can't get to them while we're in the video, I will try to answer you later. And if I don't have an answer for whatever your question is, I will look it up. Oh, you just went through your new, what did you get, Kim? Did you get the Ringed with Nature paper? I really like it. I didn't think I liked it at first, but it's like this with so many things, but it started to grow on me. All right, so to begin with, we're going to cut our card base. And again, we're kind of designing as we go here. So we may end up with something wonderful, and there's always a possibility that we won't even like what we end up with, right? So I don't know yet for sure which of those two things will happen today. So I've got some soft suede here and I cut it at 4 1/4, this the long way. Okay, so it's 4 1/4 by 11. And then we are going to score it at 5 1/2. And we can fold this. And use our bone folder to make a crease. Oh, you didn't, but you probably got something good, right? I don't, what celebration, did you choose a celebration item? I know they have some new ones out. Because I think the first ones ran out, some of them. And then we need a piece of designer series paper, and I cut this 4 by 5 1/4. Now, if you're joining me for the first time and you haven't been here before, I do also post my videos on YouTube. Last week, I had some real technical difficulties that, and so my video didn't post right away, but I did finally get it posted. At first, it didn't have any sound, and I still, to this moment, have no idea why it didn't have sound. And then I used this embossing folder that is called the Tree Rings Hybrid Embossing Folder. Let me emboss another piece with this so that I can show you what it looks like, because it's really cool as a whole piece and once it's small. All right, so I'm going to cut a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. All right, and then I will try to emboss it over here so that you can see how I do it, but it will shake my table a little bit. So let me just scoot these things off to the side. I know you can't see the whole table, but I haven't cleaned it in a little while, and it's like, it's kind of a bit of a mess down here. And so I'm really hoping I don't lose anything tonight. Okay, so I still have a Big Shot. I don't have the large Stampin' Cut and emboss machine yet. I'm still working towards that, but if I open up this folder, my embossing surface, if you have the Stampin' Cut emboss machine, you will need your embossing plate. And then I have to put down a silicone sheet. And I want to show you something real quick on these dies. Let's see if you can see that. Along the bottom here, there's a little line. So when you open this up, if you set your paper in there so that it's right along that line, then when you emboss it, your image will be straight. Okay, it's a little bit crooked. Hold on. There we go. So see how it's right along that line? It doesn't matter as much with the pattern on this one, but if you have a brick pattern or a plank pattern, you're going to want your lines to be straight, not crooked. And then you want to put it down so that the fold is going through the machine first. So I'm going to lay it down that way, and then I have to use this special embossing plate over the top. And then we just lined it through. And I like to go back the other way too. All right, I hope that didn't shake the table too much. But what you get after that is this really cool tree rings pattern. So if you can see that, and then what I did with the first one is fold it back up. All right, and I'm going to put it on this side so that you, hopefully you can see a little better. I know it's a little bright down here right now. Oh, the hippos dies. I like that. And the silver paper. It's really pretty. So I got the set, the Ringed with Nature set, which comes with the stamps and the dies. So these are the dies that come in there. Hold on, I gotta put that one back in its place. So there's the rings. There are, this is like a little pattern that kind of goes in the center of the ring. These, I am not 100% sure what those are. This is an acorn top, a mushroom, and then you've got some little branch type branches. Okay, but I was going to show you. If you take this large one out, you can layer it right over top of that embossed image, and then it will cut each one of those rings out. So you can see I cut my piece of paper a little bit smaller than the die. So I'm not going to get a full image here on the edges. This one looks good, and that one would probably be fine. So you can do that, and that's what I did with the first one, but I'm not going to do that with this one because I want to save it for something else for later. I just wanted to show you that. Right. And then put that back together and set it off to the side where hopefully I won't lose it. And I'll move this back to its other table. All right, so here we go with our card. So I saw a card online, and that's what I am basing this one on. So it's going to go, we're going to have this, and then this. That doesn't look right, does it? Let me try it the other way. Oh, that's better. All right. And then this one I cut out, but I think I might want to do something different with it. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so it kind of will sit behind there, and then this one will sit like this. And on this one, I want to stamp my first image. So I kind of want it to go like this. And I'm going to stamp this little house right here. And I want to stamp it right on there. So I've got my Stampin' Pierce mat. And as you can see, I've been using that a lot. And then, let's see, this block is a little too big. Let me grab a smaller one. I don't know why I can't see anymore if people are commenting or not commenting. I can't see what's going on. All right, so I'm going to stamp my house in. What color is my house going to be? It's going to be soft suede. All right, so I'm going to open up my ink. And I like to set it right up here next to my stamping. And then I'm just going to tap my stamp on there. Now remember, the stamping pads are foam pads. They're not, they used to be felt. And so they used to be hard ink pads, but now they're foam and so they're soft. So if you press this down hard, you're gonna get ink in all those fine lines and all your windows and your doors. It's gonna be smudged all around the edges. So you definitely don't want to do that. And I like to stamp off to the side once first, just to see how my image is going to look. And I think it looks all right. It looks like there might be some little smudges on there. So I'm just going to rub it across my paper a little bit gently, just to make sure I don't have any little, oh, there's a fly in here. That's the worst. Okay. That totally distracted me, that fly. All right, so now I'm going to stamp my little house on here. Okay, so there's my little house. Let's see. I think it goes this way. But you know what? I don't know. Do you think that's too dark? My little house might be too dark. I'm going to go with it because I just stamped. All right, so there's my little house. I'm going to clean off my stamp. And then I'm going to put this one back. And I'm going to get the little roof. All right, and now this one's fairly small. So I'm going to grab my ink. I'm going to get cherry cobbler ink and another little piece of white scrap paper. Oh, does it look okay? I was afraid it was too dark, but maybe that's a good thing. So it stands out a little bit. Let's see, will it fit on this little scrap? I always try to use up my scraps when I can. All right, I think it'll fit on there. And here is my cherry cobbler ink. So I'm gonna open that up and just tap, tap, tap. Oh, I missed a little spot at the top. There we go. I'm gonna stamp that right here. Okay. And clean that off. I try to clean my stamps as I go so I don't end up with a big mess. And I don't want to forget to clean them either. All right, so this is going to go back over here. Set. And I want to take my pair of snips and I'm going to fussy cut this little roof, which just means I'm going to cut it out. So if you ever are reading my directions and it says fussy cut, it just means cut it out, cut around it. I'm not sure who started calling it that, but I can see why they do, because it can be an extremely fussy little thing to cut out these tiny pieces. But for whatever reason, I like it. So if you don't like to fussy cut, you could always stamp your roof right over here on top of your house instead of over here. And when I'm fussy cutting, I always try to remember to turn my paper, not my scissors. And that tends to help give me a nicer cut around the edges. And sometimes if I'm cutting out words, I'll trace around them with a pencil first and then follow that line. Especially if they're little teeny ones, that tends to make it easier. Okay, but this isn't that teeny. All right, so then what I want to do with this is I'm going to take my, what am I going to do? I'm going to take my soft suede and I'm going to open that up. And I have a little piece of sponge over here. I usually use sponge daubers, but I cannot find them right now. And I haven't ordered any in a little while. So I need to order some more of those and put them on the list. All right, so I'm just going to take my sponge and I'm going to sponge around the edge here of my little wood thing, wood ring. And there's not any real solid reason why I do this. I just like the look of it sometimes with a little bit of sponging. Okay, so there it is, a little sponging around. And I'm going to turn the little roof over and take some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I am going to add them to the back. So here's one on this side. And then I'll cut one more. I don't know if you guys can hear or not, but there's lots of yelling upstairs. My daughter just got home. She went to the zoo today. So I'm excited to get up there and hear about how her trip went. Oh, I didn't know it was called fussy cutting and quilting too. That's interesting. So maybe it just carried over from that. All right, so we're going to put our little roof on. And I really like the way it stands up like that. I probably should have glued this together first, but I did not. All right, so I'm going to turn this over and add my Tombow liquid glue. See a little line around the edge and a squiggle in the middle. Okay, and then I can line it up pretty close anyway and glue it on there. So then we've got, you know what, I'm going to sponge a little bit on this one too, just because I think it will be good. All right, let me open that ink back up. I should have thought of that while the ink was open, but I didn't. All right, so here we go. We're going to sponge on this one. And then I'm actually going to take it and just sponge kind of out. It's not making real fine lines, but I was thinking in my head that it might. You know how when you look at a wood ring, it has those little lines around? It looks a little bit like that, but not too much. Okay, there's that. Probably gonna need this again, but I'm gonna close it up for right now so I don't, hopefully don't make a mess. All right, and then I need to line this one up, so I'll turn that over and add a little liquid glue to this one. Now I do have a class coming up next month in September, and it's gonna feature this stamp set. So if you really like this, then you are gonna want to sign up for the class. And when you sign up for a class, the only thing you have to bring with you is your adhesive. I provide all the pieces to make the cards, all the embellishments that you need. You can use my tools, my stamps, my ink. So really all that you need is to bring your own adhesive. All right, so let's see. Let's glue our designer series paper on. We still have to stamp our sentiment and maybe cut out a couple extra little things. All right, so we're gonna put a little line of glue around the edge and then a squiggle down the middle. And then we can line that off right over the card front in the center and press it down. Go. Okay, let's see how that's looking so far. So we've got one of these. We've got this one. And let's see, we need our sentiment. So let's choose. I wanted to choose Just For You. And like I said at the very beginning, I love stamp sets that have a Just For You. I really like to be able to say Just For You and not say happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy unhappy, whatever. I just like to be able to say just for you. This is just for you, just because, not for any other reason than I appreciate you and you're special and you deserve a card. All right, so let's stamp that in red. I think that'll be nice. And let's see. I think I have. And it's fun. It is fun. It is fun. Okay, let's see. I've got, what size? Let's measure what size we need here. Maybe about an inch. So that one looks about right. I'm trying to use up some of my scraps here today. Look at this crazy pile of white scraps. I have so many of them. I really need to do some scrap busting, but I tend to get out a new piece all the time, and I really need to I need to stop doing that, but I'm probably not going to. All right, so let's put the Just For You on here. And we'll stamp that in Cherry Cobbler. Just like that. Okay, I think that's going to be really nice. You know what? While we have that out, I want to stamp one more thing. Where's my... All right, let's clean our chamois. I mean, not clean our chamois, clean our stamp on our chamois. And I'm going to set that aside for a minute. And grab this little teeny tiny block. And in this stamp set, I really like this. There's a little heart and it's so cute. Okay, so we are going to stamp that little heart. It's right up here in the corner. I'm just going to add that to my little block. And we're going to stamp it right here. Oh, I didn't practice stamp that one, but I think it looks okay anyways. All right. So now, just going to clean that off. And I'm going to grab this little piece of soft suede. And I'm going to make a little backing for that. So this piece is 1 inch tall. So I'm going to want this one to be 1 1/4. All right. And then I'm just going to take my snips and I'm going to cut like that. Turn it over. I'm going to put on my liquid glue. I really like this stamp set, you guys. I wasn't sure about the rings at first, but I kept seeing them everywhere. It's like anything else, it kind of grows on you and you think, oh, I bet I could do this with it or that. Okay, so there is our sentiment all stamped on. And then I'm just going to take my snips and I'm going to cut off a little piece along that edge to match, just like that. And I think, let's see, what do you think? Does it need some little branches maybe? Let's cut a couple little green branches to go with that. Let's see. I think I like this one. I haven't transferred this one to the magnet sheets yet, but I really like them on the magnet sheets better than I like them on these sheets here. I always feel like I'm gonna hurt them when I'm peeling them off, especially for the first time. Okay, so I'm gonna cut 2 little green branches over on my Stamp and Cut Emboss machine. And I am gonna use this little Mossy Meadow green here, because I do have some little scraps and I think that'll be perfect. Looks like I can fit one on there. And yeah, I save a lot of scraps. I probably shouldn't, but I do. I have a really hard time throwing things out that might someday be useful. All right, so I'm going to cut these little branches and I will be right back and we will finish this card. All right, here we go. Kim, I think you might be the only one watching right now. I can't tell for sure because I've only seen you comment. I don't see that. Usually I see a little eyeball with a number by it that shows me who's watching, but I don't tonight. So if you are out there and you're watching, I hope that, well, mostly I hope that you're seeing something cool that you might not see otherwise, and that'll inspire you to do some crafting of your own. All right, so this one we are going to glue right to our card. So I put some liquid glue on there and it's going to go right up here. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. All right, this one's going to go here. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to stick my little branches on so that they stick out. And I kind of think that I'd like them to stick up that way, which means they have to go on down here. Let's see. All right, I think if I put a little glue on this one and stick those together. Try not to get my fingers all sticky while I do that. All right, and then if I put a little glue right here, stick them on like that. I'm gonna try and spread them out just a little bit. They got a little too close to each other. All right, now I'm gonna let them dry for just a minute while I put some Stampin' Dimensionals on. All right, and if you have Stampin' Dimensionals and you use up all the ones in the middle, you can just take your scissors and snip, snip, snip around the edges, and then you have a whole bunch more that you can use too. So don't waste those little edge pieces. You can use them. All right, we're going to take this off. The little backs. Oh, there are 4. Oh, hi, Wendy. Okay. I don't know why I can't always see how many people are watching. My husband said he watched me last time and he was like, hey, did you see I was watching your video? And I was like, no, I didn't see. I can't ever see whose name is popping up. But I'm always so happy that you're here. All right, and then we're going to put this right here. So we need our Stampin' Dimensionals to be here, here, and here. But we're not going to put one here because that would make it unlevel. And we want to try to be level. Level-headed and level, not too level-headed. We got to have our wings, but we have to be a little bit level when we're making our cards. All right, so there's that. And then I think we just need some sparkles, right? Oh, the comments. Sometimes I wonder if Facebook does that on purpose. I don't know. I feel like they're always changing things. But I'm glad that they did come up and that I know that you're here. Wait, now. I'm searching through the gems. All the mini gems. Okay, so do we think red gems or do we think some of these brushed metallic gems? Red. Okay. All right, we're going for the red. I think it will be really cute with that. I think it will be really cute with that little heart. And I have to tell you that in general, the rhinestones are my favorite. I love this. I like the shiny metallic ones too, but going way, way back, the rhinestones are my favorite. And I really love glitter. I know that a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with glitter. Some people have just a hate relationship with it. But I love glitter. I love little things that sparkle. They just feel special to me. All right, and let's put one down here. And where should the next one go? I'm trying to figure it out. I think maybe up here by the trees. Maybe right there. Okay. I'm tempted to put a lot more on there, but I'm gonna hold myself back. All right, so there is a really cute card. Made with the Rings with Nature bundle. Okay, so this is going to be for the next class. And I haven't finished designing them completely yet, but I should be done in the next couple days, and I'll be sending out an email. So be sure to share that with a friend. If you would like to bring a friend to class, remember that I will give you 4 cards from my stash. And I'm going to refill my stand this week too, because it's gotten a little sparse. And I have lots and lots of cards that are just waiting. They're just on the verge of being finished up. So that is our card for tonight for Stampin' Sunday. If you're on my email list, then this week you will get the measurements for that card and a list of the supplies. And I wanted to show you one thing. At my last class, one of my daughters happened to notice that I had prepared enough spaces for 4 class participants. And I happen to have only 3. And so she joined in the class and started making her cards. Now she didn't get through even one card. She's very particular and she likes things to be just so. But this was the first card that we were working on. It turned out really cute. It's a little shaker card. But I wanted to show you they say that in general, there's kind of a rule of 3s about embellishments. Like you should have at least 3 little sparkly gems. Evidently in our house, you should have far more than 3 sparkly gems. Do you see all those little gems she put on her card? I think there's at least 3 of each color plus a few extra. So, and she actually wrote this little hello that she added to her card. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's kind of dim. But she didn't choose any of the sentiments that I had. She wanted to write her own little hello. So whatever you're doing this week, I hope that you are making it your own. Have a great week. Happy stamping, and I hope I'll see you next time.